Hey guys, I'm Mark. Welcome to my small but humble kitchen. I live on the Gold Coast, which is an hour south of the Queensland capital, Brisbane, in Australia. My parents are Maltese, and I want to teach you some traditional Maltese recipes. So today, I thought I would start with one of my favorites, which is called Laham fwar, which means steamed meat. It's a very simple dish. We only need a few ingredients. And I bought 2 packets of steak. We also need some continental parsley. I wanted to get fresh parsley by the bunch, but they didn't sell it, so I had to go for these packeted options. Hardly ideal, but I'll make sure to recycle the plastic. So I've got 2 packets of those because I love the taste of parsley. A couple of tomatoes for good measure, nice and ripe. Some unsalted butter, some bacon, and we have some garlic as well. So now I'm going to start preparing the food and then we'll be able to see how we go. So we're going to start off by chopping up some tomato, just into nice thin slices. There's no one fixed traditional way to make a dish. Often the way that we're going to make a dish is going to be based on how our parents or how our mothers in particular have made the dish for us growing up. Just to keep it aside for now. Next thing I'm going to do is chop up some parsley. So as I said, I've got that continental parsley. Now, even though I'm getting all these things out of the packets, I have opened them up and washed them beforehand. It's always important, of course, to wash your veggies to make sure that they're nice and clean so that you don't get sick. And you might say to yourself again, geez, using a lot of parsley. If you don't want to use so much, don't use so much. That's absolutely fine. I like to use a lot, but you don't have to. Next thing, going to chop the garlic first. Now I use a lot of garlic. I love garlic, but I'm going to use enough of it just to give it a good strong taste. So as we do, as the professionals do, just squash each clove, each piece of garlic. Makes it easy to peel. Okay, once all that garlic is peeled, now it's time to chop it up. Watching my fingers, of course. You know what? I don't actually need it to be minced. I quite like it to be in a few chunks. That should be about right. Some big pieces, some small pieces. That's pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to chop up the bacon. So I've got here about 200 grams of bacon. You can use as much as you want. Just chop it up into slices all the way through. What we're going to end up with is nice little diced squares. So just chopping that up into some squares, watching my fingers, of course, that I don't get cut. You can see what an amateur I am. I'm not having a good knife cutting technique, but I try my best. I am self-taught after all. So there we go. We've got the tomato, the parsley, the garlic, and we've got the bacon. The next thing we want to do is to cut up our meat. Not cut up our meat, to open our meat. So this is about 800 grams. As I said, it would be good to have nice thin slices, but this is as thin as I could get. You could always go to the butcher and ask the butcher to cut you some very thin slices if you wanted to. So now that I've prepared the tomato, the parsley, the bacon, the garlic, and the meat, I'm going to be using a large pan. I've got one of these pans which has a steamer on top. So what you need to do, of course, is to fill up some water in your saucepan. And that's just going to be to boil so that the meat gets steamed. So I'll fill that up about halfway. Next thing, we get our steamer or casserole dish. This needs to be greased so that the meat doesn't stick to it. So I'm going to get some oil and I'm going to grease that. Just some cooking oil, some olive oil. Okay, so what we want to do now is we want to get our pieces of meat to start with. And we're going to put them down on the base. of the steamer. We'll do this over a couple of layers, doesn't matter if it overlaps a little bit. So let's start with maybe 6 pieces. Right, once we've done that, we're going to put a layer of tomatoes on top. Spread those tomatoes around, so as it cooks, they release their juice and it keeps the meat nice and succulent. Couple more. Right, then after that we're going to get some parsley and put the parsley on top and scatter it all the way around. The parsley infuses such a wonderful taste. Then I'll get some bacon and put the bacon on top, sprinkle it all the way around, like so. And then we're going to get some garlic also and put the garlic on top. All scatter it around as well. Bit more. And then we do the same thing again. We make another layer. We put the pieces of steak. Oh, the smell of the garlic and the parsley, tomato smells so beautiful. Right, then we're going to put the rest of the tomatoes. I've probably cut more tomatoes than I need, but I enjoy eating them too, so I don't see any problem with having a little bit extra. Just spreading them all the way around. Good stuff. Oh, beautiful smell. Wonderful. Then I'm going to put the parsley, scatter it all the way around. As I say, in my book, you can never have enough. And put the rest of the bacon on top, spread it all the way around. Then I'm going to put the rest of the garlic, spread it all around. And there we go, I've got 2 layers of meat with tomato, with parsley, with garlic, with bacon. Now what we want to do as we put it on top of the pan is we want to add some salt and pepper. So I've got some pepper here, just add some pepper, that'll make it nice. Add some salt. Lots of salt is my recommendation. Really tastes good when you do it that way. And then what we want to do is chop up a few pieces of butter. So I've just got some butter. I'm going to cut a couple of slices and put that butter on top so that when it steams, the butter melts and oozes through. Not too much, just 2 or 3 pieces is more than enough. Okay, and then we're done. All we have to do now is turn that on. I would suggest starting off initially, putting it on high until it boils, and then you can reduce it. And let's come back and have a look at that in about half an hour, 40 minutes. All you need to do is keep it on the fire for that long, and after that time it's ready to go. Okay, so 40 minutes or so have passed, and the Laham fwar has been boiling there on the water. So now it's time to actually see what the food has turned out to be like, so I'm going to serve this now. Okay, so I've removed the food from on top of the saucepan and now it's time to serve it. And it's come out so succulent and so beautiful. So let me show you as I serve some of this. You can see that the parsley and the tomato has become very tender. You can pull it apart and the meat is very nicely done. Still got a little bit of pinkness to it, but putting some of the bacon and the garlic and the parsley on top, it's really amazing. Really looks like it's come out really, really well. So all that's left to do now is to eat this wonderful dish, this Maltese dish, Laham fwar. So I hope that you will try this recipe at home. Let me know how you go. And don't forget to like and subscribe and join me for the next video that I do sharing some more traditional meals.